Welcome to Seize the Mains by Malhotra's IS Academy. I am Sirbhi Sardana and this is Season 3 of our Daily Answer Writing Initiative. This initiative runs in coordination with our website rajisacademy.com. The link to our website is copied in the description below. Click on it and you will be led to this page. Here in the mains answer writing section, you will see all the questions and answers that we have discussed till date in Seize the Mains initiative. What you can do is, in the comment section of each and every question, you can post your answers in the form of a photograph or in the typed format, and our team will give their feedback to you on whatever you have written, whatever you have posted, on all your answers in the next 48 hours entirely free of cost. So let's move on and see what's the topic for today. It's ninth schedule and judicial review. Recently we've seen a news coming from the Jharkhand state that they want to put a law under ninth schedule, and ninth schedule is so important part of your syllabus that it remains in news almost for the entire year or on an annual basis. So today in the weekly current affairs session for polity and governance on our YouTube channel, Ms. Drishti took a detailed discussion on the ninth schedule and judicial review. So we have framed a question with regards to that. See, this question was very openly available at many websites. बहुत जगह ये question किसी ना किसी language में पूछा गया है. There is one case, that is the IR Coelho case, which UPSC has asked a question on in prelims also and especially in mains. Ninth schedule की जब बात आती है, Coelho case बहुत important हो जाता है आपके लिए. So this question is floating over the internet, but the right answer to this question wasn't available. So on similar lines, we have framed a similar question, and we will take this session to tell you how to write answer to questions like these. So give a critique of the evolution of concept of judicial review with a special focus on the ninth schedule of Indian Constitution. Answer in 150 words. See, first of all, critique means you'll have to talk about the history and evolution, history or whatever has happened to the judicial review concept that we have today. तो आपको पूरा उसका evolution बताना पड़ेगा. You'll have to give a detailed history or a small essay or detailed paragraph kind of an analysis there of the concept of judicial review. Now this concept of judicial review का जो evolution है Indian polity में, that is very broad. So what the question is, you have to discuss it with special focus on the ninth schedule of Indian Constitution. So just those cases, just those events or evolutions or upcomings or events which have made a difference to the ninth schedule of Indian Constitution, या जिन्होंने ninth schedule को impact किया है, आपने सिर्फ वही चीज़ें अपने इस critique में judicial review के सिर्फ वही चीज़ें discuss करनी है. Answer in 150 words. So make sure that no matter how much you want to write, whether you want to elaborate on cases and long paragraphs, that won't be taken. Keep your facts very crisp and very clear. Keep the contents of your answer very short, very clear. So as usual, what we'll do is we'll write an introduction. I always recommend never start your answer directly. Whatever is being asked in the question, for example, what are the keywords here? Your ninth schedule is the keyword and your judicial review is the keyword. First of all, things should be clear. What is a judicial review? What is the power of judicial review? Judicial review important क्यों है? So all that should be clear in 2 to 5 lines. 5 lines is max. 2 to 5 lines of introduction, and that is what frames the first part of your answer. You will answer the exact question जो भी आपसे question में पूछा गया. You will move on to answer that only after introduction. Never start answering what is asked in the question directly. Give at least 2 to 5 lines of introduction, then move on to the next part. So in the introduction, what we'll do is we will define judicial review very shortly. बहुत ही short में हम लोग judicial review define करेंगे, and we'll talk about its importance. So let's see what is the introduction we have here. Again, this goes beyond 5 lines. Choose the best lines that you can. Try to frame an understanding of the concept कि हम लोग introduction लिख कैसे रहे हैं. How are we writing these introductions? Try to develop that understanding and put it in 2 to 5 lines only then. So first line, the judiciary of India is the final interpreter and guardian of the constitution. This is something you have to specify, that judiciary is the final interpreter and not just interpreter but also the guardian of constitution. इसी concept से आपका concept of judicial review आता है. Second line, judicial review is the power of the judiciary to check if the laws made by the legislature or executive are in accordance with the constitutional values. See, there is a connection between first line and second line here. You're talking about judiciary being the guardian of constitution, and hence the power of judicial review kind of gives a practical meaning to this power of judiciary of being the guardian of constitution. So this prevents the, how does it help now? Now you have in a way given what is judicial review and where does it come from. Now we'll talk about what is the importance of judicial review, what is the significance of judicial review. That will not be in separate paragraph, that would be your next line. See, each and every line in your answer should have a purpose and should be interconnected to what you are writing, to the previous lines. It should be interconnected, it should not be flowing from here and there, otherwise that distortion becomes very clear to the examiner who is evaluating your answer. That distortion becomes very clear to him or her and he marks you accordingly. If your answer has a good structure, you will definitely score very high on mains. The third point, this prevents the executive and legislature from acting in an arbitrary manner, maintaining the supremacy of constitution and protecting the rights of the people. So that is where its importance lies, that maintaining the supremacy of constitution, that is established. Your legislature and executive, they cannot act in an arbitrary manner, and the rights of people, they stay protected. So in 3 lines you have very well elaborated the concept of judicial review and its significance. Now we'll talk about some constitutional mandate. What is the, what is the constitutional validity of such acts? So in the Indian Constitution, judicial review is dealt with under Article 13. So Article 13 provides for judicial review. Indirectly there are other articles also, but what you can do is either write about those articles. Your Article 226 is one of them, article related, Article 32, Article 226, Article 137. There are many articles which are related to judicial review. What you can do is give commas and write about all those articles, or your Article 13 would be sufficient for the introduction part if you're running short of words. Judicial review implies that the constitution is the supreme power of the nation and all laws are under its supremacy. See, now this is an additional line here. Till your 4th line, what you have given the definition of judicial review, where does it come from, what is its significance or importance, then you have given the name of article also. Now to sum up the introduction, you are giving an additional line that what this all means is that constitution is the supreme power of the nation and all laws are under its supremacy. Again, you can stop your introduction till here only. Nobody is going to cut your marks till here. The introduction is absolutely complete. Then now we have to move to our body paragraph, that is discussing judicial review in relation to 9th schedule, discussing the evolution of judicial review in relation to 9th schedule. So you'll have to talk about 9th schedule also, and let's see how we will move on to introduce the first body paragraph of our answer. So judicial review plays an important part in the enforcement of the rights granted under the Indian Constitution. Now when we are talking about rights or fundamental rights in general, 9th schedule has stood contrary to the fundamental rights in Indian Constitution from time to time ever since it came into force. So that's why this line is important. Moving on to body paragraph 1, talk about, after the last line, talk about the 9th schedule directly. That talk about the historical perspective. When did it come into force? Why did it come into force? Again, a very long detail would not be important, but you'll have to specify that for abolishing zamindari system or for bringing agrarian reforms, this 9th schedule was brought up, and then what happened after it was brought up, after it was in activation. What happened later, that has to be made clear. Let's see how do we do it. The 9th schedule became a part of constitution in 1951 we know, all of us know that after the first amendment or through the first amendment, ninth schedule came into functioning. So it became a part of constitution in 1951, year specified through the first constitutional amendment. The history part is clear now, that first amendment brought the ninth schedule. Your language can change here, that you can't talk about first constitutional amendment in the starting of the sentence or in the end of sentence. How do you choose, whether you choose active voice, passive voice, that is up to the flow of your answer and what you are comfortable with. But these facts should be very much kept in mind. Talking about the history, then talking what it did. What happened after incoming of the ninth schedule. So it was created by Article 31B, which along with 31A was brought in by the government to protect laws related to agrarian reform and for abolishing the zamindari system. So history is clear, its importance is clear, why it was brought in and what is its functioning. Ninth schedule में किसी law को डाल देने से होता क्या है? What is ninth schedule? Why is ninth schedule important? So in the third one, write down, it contains a list of central and state laws, not just central government but state laws. This word would be very important here, both central and state laws, which cannot be challenged in courts even if they violate the fundamental rights, even if they violate the FRs or fundamental rights. This is the exact explanation of your ninth schedule. In 3 lines, you have explained what is your ninth schedule, how it came into functioning, what has it been doing and what is its present status. So yes, it contains a list of these laws which cannot be challenged in court if they even violate the fundamental rights. So that was the status of ninth schedule. This was a historical perspective. Now moving on to talk about the evolution of judicial review on one hand with respect to ninth schedule as a constraint. So evolution of judicial review with respect to ninth schedule. Here you do not have to introduce a linkage point. This line itself is the linkage point. So after your body paragraph 1, just give this heading and move on to write about these cases. The first one would be obviously your Keshav Nanda Bharti case versus State of Kerala of 1973, which established the basic structure of constitution. Basically what we are moving towards is, through discussion of these cases, we are moving towards the ninth schedule case or the IR Coelho case. So in IR Coelho case, two things are important: the basic structure, the judicial review, the fundamental rights. The fundamental rights part has been made clear amply. Keshav Nanda Bharti case established the basic structure of constitution. The second one important here was the Vaman Rao versus Union of India case of 1981, where the Supreme Court ruled that amendments which will come after this judgment, Keshav Nanda Bharti case versus State of Kerala, that is after 24th April 1973, which was the date of Keshav Nanda Bharti judgment, they are open to being challenged on the grounds of constitutionality, and your constitutionality would imply basic structure of constitution. So this was made very clear. In the IR Coelho case, which is the third case and the third point you will be writing in evolution of judicial review with respect to ninth schedule, this is the most important here. Again, this is popularly known as the ninth schedule case. Here Supreme Court of India ruled that all laws, including the laws in the ninth schedule, would be open to judicial review if they violated the basic structure of constitution. See, this case could be written directly. आप directly इस case को भी लिख सकते थे, but the demand of the question is that you have to discuss the evolution of judicial review. That's why these previous 2 cases are important to write, because evolution part has been asked. Now this is the most important here. तो इसकी जो elaboration है, the explanation of this particular case would be longer as compared to the first 2. First 2 की जो थी maximum 1 line में हमने explanation खत्म की थी, but this one is most important here. So we are elaborating on this, that the Supreme Court judgment laid that the laws placed under ninth schedule after this date shall be open to challenge in court if they violated fundamental rights granted under Article 14, 19, 20 and 21 of Constitution. Now the significance of this judgment was, also take a next line here or give a heading, small heading of significance of this ninth schedule case. The significance was that it ended up the controversy behind the ninth schedule largely and was successful to put a bar on political intentions of keeping certain sensitive issues out of the reach of judicial review for narrow political gains. You know what was happening, that if any government wanted to protect their laws from judicial review, they used to put that law in the 9th schedule. So this put an end to all of that, because if any law violated the basic structure or was against some of the fundamental rights, it could be challenged in the courts. So what you can do is talk about the loophole in the 9th schedule, that it was resulting into political tyranny. What you can do is, where you have explained the 9th schedule, you can give one line about political tyranny also, that how this rule was misused, how this schedule was misused. Then you can talk about evolution, and again here you can emphasize that it ended up the controversy behind the 9th schedule, and the intentions were all those laws with bad intentions, they were kept out, they were put under judicial scrutiny. So this ends your evolution part. Basically आपका जो evolution part है of judicial review with regards to 9th schedule, that ends here. Now in the conclusion, see, in these answers your conclusions are very important. Polity में आपको ज़्यादा articles बताने होते हैं, आपको बताना होता है that you understand the factual part of things, you understand the importance of a case, you understand how it changed Indian democracy or Indian polity, and you have to sum that up in very few words, and you cannot miss out on things. और आप कुछ भी अपने आप से चीज़ें नहीं लिख सकते. Whatever is true, only that has to be incorporated, just like in science. So अपने आप से आप चीज़ें ऐड नहीं कर सकते. So in that 150 words, everything has to be condensed. In the conclusion, we'll write about what we feel has been happening. Change क्या आया है ये evolution की वजह से, judicial review की वजह से. So 9th schedule has been used by various governments at center and states to provide their citizens with a welfare state. Very much true. To give prominence to directive principles of state policy, so that fundamental rights sometimes have to take a back seat. 9th schedule has been used by various governments, so you cannot directly fight in the conclusion that this is a bad schedule. No, you have to talk about the positive part also. However, always whenever you are criticizing something, use this word however, a very beautiful word, and it tells the examiner that you are putting a criticism in a very formal and a very mature way. So however, there have been times of misuse as well, and this is where judicial review doctrine has protected Indian democracy. So the judicial review doctrine, or judicial review or principle of judicial review in inverted commas, it makes your answer look better and again I would say mature. So judicial review doctrine has protected Indian democracy. The successive judgments of Supreme Court have been successful in strengthening the democratic base of the society and bringing into the realm of justice unfair acts of misuse of the provision of 9th schedule in the constitution. So that ends your conclusion. It basically sums up what we had been thinking. Whatever news regarding 9th schedule comes up, it is always with regards to this, that what are the kind of laws that should be put in 9th schedule, and even if they are not against the basic structure of constitution but they violates some very light rights of some of the communities, are they even valid, or are they are they even valid for judicial scrutiny? So that controversy always is there. Whatever your viewpoints are with regards to current affairs, have your conclusion space saved for that. 1 line, 2 lines in your own words, whatever you've been feeling due to the events happening around in Indian polity, save your conclusions for that. Your introduction should be very formal. Give the facts which everybody should be giving: facts, data, articles, cases. Then your body paragraphs should contain what is asked in the question. Don't deviate from it, don't beat around the bush. Very crisp, very clear. Use flowcharts, use point formats, and have your conclusions for your creativity, for your viewpoint, but deliver them in a formal manner. Also, you can use your way forwards in the conclusion. So this is your full answer for the day. The entire answer has been updated on our website as you watch this video. Click on the link in the description that will take you to our website, which is rajisacademy.com. Check out the mains answer writing section. I'm sure it would be of great help to you in your preparation. See, mains is where it makes a difference what rank would you get, and taking GS lightly, that has been seen by us in so many cases of students, that they do not take GS very well or very seriously. They focus on prelims and then they focus on optionals, but GS is where you can, you know, achieve a great feat and you can make a huge difference when it comes to your final score. So practice this one question with us every day, post your answers on the website, get them evaluated by us and improve on a daily basis. We see so many students who could not write even, you know, grammatically right answers on the first day. They could not even think of words. They were taking hours and hours to just write a few lines, and now they write like really good answers. They also send us the time limit which they took, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, even lesser than that, and they write like some high quality answers, sometimes so perfect that we are not able to even find out a single mistake or suggest even a single improvement to their answers. So that is the level you should aspire for. Join our initiative, join the initiative running on the website and YouTube and all other initiatives running through this online platforms that we connect with you. Stay tuned to our channel, visit the website for the full answer. I'll see you with another discussion tomorrow at 9 p.m. All the best.